So, since I'm just going to be randomly stopping people asking their opinion on these questions, I feel like it's only fair that I do the exact same. So, here's all the questions. Number one, what is your opinion on the Bud Light controversy? Bud Light has recently rebranded themselves with UFC and Shane Gillis. So basically what I'm talking about here is Dylan Mulvaney. He's a very famous trans person. Bud Light actually just sent him out a can to promote him, or for whatever reason. All the conservatives kind of went crazy. Yeah, so I don't see anything wrong with customers having negative actions against a company that's not serving their purposes anymore. And I honestly feel like Bud Light making corrective changes and figuring out, hey, these are kind of the people that actually, we shouldn't be woke marketing to people that don't buy our product. The people that don't buy our product are the reason we're here. I think this is a lesson Disney needs to also comprehend. The reason no one wants to see their movies anymore has nothing to do with woke ideology, and more to they don't know who the hell their audience is. They'll figure it out unless there's no more Disney. I don't know. I wouldn't mind. Also, stop making cartoons into live action. Cartoons is the peak. It goes cartoons, books, movies. Yes. What is your personal number one issue for the nation? All right, this is going to sound silly. Maybe it won't. My number one issue for the nation is actually homelessness. The reason why is when you let smaller crimes go, they trickle down. So Arizona, they stopped enforcing camping laws. So it used to be illegal to camp on the street. They stopped enforcing that mainly because they just didn't want to interact with these individuals during COVID. But because of that, never restricted these laws. So now we have homeless people littered everywhere across Arizona. And once it becomes a smaller problem, obviously they're doing drugs, their crime is up. Arizona has become a very bad place because of these smaller crimes. I digress. That is my number one issue is homelessness, not the border, not Ukraine. It is homelessness. Do women's rights and trans rights conflict? I think inevitably they do. I believe you can be in support of trans rights, and I believe you can be in support of women's rights, but I believe you can recognize that they are two completely separate things, and that they will start conflicting. There was a movement a long time ago, not too long ago, but we fought for women's rights. We fought for their equal but separate spaces, for their rights in sports, bathrooms. If trans is truly here to stay, then we're sending billions and billions of dollars to dictators all across the world. How about we spend just a couple billions on extra bathrooms and stop bickering about these first world problems? That is my personal opinion. Let's be adults and move on. But we can't do that because then we'll figure out the government is evil. Does America have a greater responsibility to take care of its own people? Let me rephrase that. Does America have a greater responsibility to take care of the people around the world? I argue no. I argue America only has a responsibility to the people of America. I think the rest of the world would be better if it was America, but until they democratically vote themselves to be America, they can do what they will. America is very rich in resources. It has a very weak ally, north and south. It has a strong ocean, west and east. America has no true enemy that can really do anything to us. So I think it's very arrogant and hypocritical to demonize any other country while we have strategic military bases all across the world in open conflict, even though we have not declared war since World War II, even though the United States has found itself in war for the past 20 years since its conception. That's a problem and something that can be rectified. We don't have to go to war, and we're not the world's police. Moving on. What's the difference between a riot and a protest? Now, I think what I saw last Sunday was a perfect example of a protest. It was people obeying speed limits. They were honking horns. They were being loud. They were waving flags. But guess what? They were stopping at the red lights, and when it turned green, they drove. Now, if they were to, say, lay across the road and block traffic, I don't consider that protest anymore. I consider that, disorderly conduct. You're breaking the laws of society. You can voice your opinions and let people go to work. But obviously that's not a riot. But what I do consider a riot is anytime your speech becomes physical. If you are speaking to somebody, even in a debate, and you start attacking that person with your fists, and then everyone else jumps, like, you can no longer claim political speech at that point. You're just attacking something. You're committing crimes. You're now assaulting people. And if you're at I don't know, the Capitol, and everyone's using their voice, but then you start trespassing and breaking into buildings, yes, that is a crime. That is now a riot, and you should go to jail. But I hold that on all sides. If you burn down a police station, you should go to jail. And do not tell me in the year 2024 that the NSA does not have the faces and the addresses of everybody everywhere at all times. Use that evil for good. Throw those people in jail. Israel, Palestine. This will be easy. No, it will not. So, I've always been the biggest supporter of Israel and the IDF. I think they are one of the only Western democracies in the sea of enemies. No one wants them there. And to be fair, they have nowhere to go. They have historically been driven out of every country they've ever been. And they've also been attacked by every country that's neighboring them currently. That being said, I think what the Netanyahu government is doing is Bibi Netanyahu is amount to genocide. I think just because it's not the most perfect genocide, or it's not as going as like people going on trains. No, they're bombing northern Gaza. They're going to bomb all southern Gaza, and they're going to leave the infrastructure so people starve. And they're stopping all. It's a genocide. That being said, it is very hard to sympathize with the country that has been firing rockets at Israel for the past 50 years. I don't believe that if Mexico is shooting rockets into California for the past 50 years, that on year 2 there would be no, like, there would just have to be like South America would be more America. So it is very hypocritical, but that's what America does. America will say that Russia's the great evil that is killing tons of innocent in Ukraine. We must give them more weapons to stop Russia, but also we need to give more weapons to Israel so they can defeat Hamas. Also, all the Palestinians must die. Who would have guessed politics is hypocritical? If you were president and everyone went along with your plan, how would you direct America to a brighter future? All right. To fix the border, we just make a plan so you can't deploy national troops on American soil, but you can make a DMZ in a foreign country. We make a DMZ line along Mexico. We make some kind of trade agreement or just buy the land outright. We make that a demilitarized zone. That way the military can handle it completely, and that would completely stop all immigration coming from our southern border. You're saying, well, now we've completely closed our southern border. We make immigration possible through our southern seaports. So immigration from the southern countries shall now only come from the southern seaports. And make very harsh penalties for anyone crossing or digging under that DMZ. Honestly, let the military take care of it. Good luck digging tunnels under them.